Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from Alex Merced Coder again. Again, I'm just like brushing up on my Rust by doing Codewars challenges because, again, Rust has just been something I've been wanting to like kind of learn to get better at programming casually. I haven't really like, other than like the tutorials I've done, it's not like a daily language for me. So it's been a few months, so I'm a little rusty. So I'm doing like easy Codewars challenges to kind of just get myself loosen up the grip, and I figured I'd record them. So let's see here. Volume of a cuboid. Let's do that. Rust. Bob needs a fast way to calculate the volume of a cuboid with three values, length, width, and height of the cuboid. Write a function to help Bob with this calculation. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, since it's Rust, it's very strictly typed, so let me just read the type so that way I know what I'm doing. So I'm taking in 32-bit floats, so all three values are 32-bit floats, and it's going to return a 32-bit float. So it's really, I'm just returning a calculation here. Okay, and if I remember calculating the value, I don't know, it's been a while. If I'm remembering calculating the value of a cuboid, it should just basically be return length times width times height. So that should be pretty straightforward. Actually, I can even avoid the whole return symbol and just do that. And then I think that should just do it. Let's test it out. Yep. Okay, so that was pretty straightforward. Okay, so we'll do another one for this video. Okay, submit. Okay, that was easy enough. Let's try a different one. What do I need? Convert a Boolean to a string. I like doing these convert ones just because like there's different ways of casting things in different languages, and it's good to kind of like go look those up and like learn how to do those. I'll implement a function which converts a given Boolean value into a string represent. Only valid inputs will be given. Okay, so I'm going to assume based on the way things work, I'm going to first just assume that this is going to have a toString method. Okay, so first we'll try that. I'm going to assume that a Boolean should always be able to be converted to string. There shouldn't really be a reason that would fail. So I'm going to assume that that doesn't return like an option, but let's find out. So I'm going to test, see what that works. That works. Okay, so that was pretty straightforward. Okay, so it does have a toString method. Okay, so you do the attempt, and then that was pretty straightforward. Okay, so far we hitting some easy ones. I know this is like level 8 kata, but you'd be surprised. Sometimes you find like level 7, level 8 kata that's actually harder than you expect it to be. Okay, define a card suite. Do we have a Rust for that? No. Holiday 4, Shark Pontoon. That sounds random. Let's try that. Okay, let's see here. Oh, this is a long description. Your friend invites you out to a cool floating pontoon around 1 kilometers off the beach. Among other things, the pontoon has a huge slide that drops you out to the right of the ocean, a small way from a set of stairs used to climb out. As you plunge out the side of the water, you see a shark hovering in the darkness under the pontoon. Crap! You need to work out if the shark will get you before you can get to the pontoon. To make it easier, as you do the mental calculations of the water, you either freeze when you realize you are dead, or swim when you realize you can make it. You're given 5 variables. Shark distance, distance from the shark to the pontoon. The shark will eat you if it reaches you before the escape the pontoon. Shark speed, how fast it can move in meters and seconds. How far you need to swim in safety in meters. How fast you can swim in meters per second. A Boolean, if true, you can half the swimming speed of the shark as a dolphin will attack it. the pontoon, you the pontoon, you, and the shark are all aligned in one dimension. Okay, so here's the way I'm going to think about it. First, I just want to make sure, like, is there a dolphin? And just kind of have that value established. Okay, so we're going to just say, hey, is there a dolphin? I want to just get that out of the way. Now, once we establish that there's a dolphin, we're going to establish, like, how many seconds for shark. How many seconds for the shark to get to you? Then we want to establish how many seconds for you to escape. And then we'll kind of evaluate whether can you survive. Okay, so essentially like those are sort of the way I'm going to like pseudocode this. Okay, and the reason why I want to figure out there's a dolphin first is because again, if there's a dolphin, that's going to have the speed of the shark. So basically, what I want to do is I want to see if there's a ternary operator in Rust, and what the syntax is. I'm not going to assume it's just like JavaScript. Ternary operator in Rust. Okay. So got it. So it's just in the syntax. Yep, no, it doesn't have a ternary operator, but it does have this one line if, which works for me. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to say let dolphin oh, dolphin is ready, so we'll just say D, which should be an F32 equal, because it's going to be a float, because I don't want to have typing issues later, so I want to keep it, oh, actually I want to make it a F64 to keep it in line with everything else, because you always get those issues in languages like, oh, they're slightly different. Okay, so we'll keep it consistent. And then what I want to do is just like, if dolphin, then what I want to do is I want to assign, let's see here, if dolphin L7. Okay, so that works for me. So they actually have like if statements as expressions, which is nice. And again, what do I mean by an if statement as an expression? Is I can actually assign the result of the if statement to a value. This is like unlike JavaScript where if statements are statements only. I can't assign. There's no returned value from the if statement. So I can be like, hey, if there's a dolphin, let's make it equal 0.5 because I'm going to have the speed of the shark. Okay. And else, then it's going to be 1 because then we're going to just keep the speed of the shark the same. Okay. Let me just make sure that dolphin is Boolean true. You can half the swimming speed of the shark as the dolphin will attack it. Okay. So first let's do shark speed, SS. So let SS, which is also going to be, and what it's going to be is it's going to equal shark speed times the dolphin, whether the dolphin exists. Okay, so because basically if the dolphin's there, D will be 0.5, so it'll half the speed. If the dolphin's not there, it'll be 1, and it'll just be the speed that it is. Okay, then we're going to let shark time, so SD, equal F64, equal, okay, we just you before you escape to the pontoon. How far do you need the pontoon? Okay, so I'm assuming it should just be shark distance divided by, so if the distance is 10 divided by the shark speed, and that'll tell us like how fast the shark should be able to get to you. And then basically for how fast you can get there, let's just basically let u time, so let yt f64 equal shark, not shark, okay, pontoon distance divided by u speed. So again, if it's like 10 meters away to the pontoon and you have a speed of 2, then it'll take you 5 seconds to get to the pontoon, theoretically. Meters, how fast can you swim in meters per second? Okay, so I think we got all those numbers figured out. So now it's just a matter of doing an if statement. So if, okay, so basically if And let me just see the dimension of equal. You need to work out if the shark will get to you before you get to the pontoon to make it easier. Do the mental calculation, either freeze, you're dead, or swim when you realize you can make it. If I bear sure and alive, if not, I'm gonna assume that means basically even if it's equal, you get eaten by the shark. We'll find out in a second. So we're just gonna say, hey, if U time is greater than shark time, then what we're going to do is we're going to return alive. Okay. Else, we're going to return, I'm looking at the return value. The return value is a string struct, not a just an S string pointer. So I might get an error here, but we'll find out in a second. Shark. If not, then I'll just cast it. Shark bait. Okay, but theoretically that should do it. Let's see here. Does it like it? Float literals must have an integer part. Ah, so they want me to do this. 0.5 there. I love Rust errors. They're very clear. Unnecessary parentheses around the if condition. Okay, so it's just complaining that, that doesn't like me doing the parentheses in Rust. Okay, mismatch types. Oh, this should be 1.0 because it's supposed to be a float. Okay. See, like it points it right to it. Like this stuff, like I love Rust errors. Okay, mismatch types, expected string because of return type. Yep. So what it wants me to do is do toString. Let me just do the same thing over here, and I think that should take care of everything. Okay, assertion failed. Left equals right. Left shark bait. Right equals alive. Okay. So that's right there on the first one. So let's do the math on this. Okay, so basically the pontoon distance is 12, and my speed is, which is the third argument, is 4. So I'm gonna have like 7 goes into 4, a little bit less than 2. So we'll say like 1 point whatever seconds. Okay, now the shark, on the other hand, the shark has a distance of 50, but a speed of 8. So 50 divided by 8. So why would you be alive? Because 50 divided by 8, you should get let's see here, 8, 16. Oh, I'm just going to do the calculator. It's too late in the day. 50 divided by 8 equals 6.25, which is definitely more than it's going to take you to get to, unless it's the other way around. Basically, the idea is if it takes longer for the shark to get there, the shark will eat you if it reaches it before you escape. If it reaches you before you escape to the pontoon. Okay. How fast it can move in meter seconds. So it's going to take longer for it to get to the pontoon. So I guess this is the other way around. So long as it takes you less time to get to the pontoon than the shark, you should be able to beat the shark. Okay. So now I'll run this test again. So in that case, it wasn't anything wrong with my code. It was just my assumption about the problem. So always remember, when you're doing problems, don't always assume that your problem is your code. Okay, sometimes walk yourself through the actual problem. Take a look at the test, take a look at the arguments, and walk yourself through like what the result would be to test your assumptions about like, okay, what is the actual thing you're solving for here. And that's the beauty of tests, because you can write code that makes sense to you and runs perfectly, but again, it's going to get you the wrong results, and the test will help you catch that. So now I run attempt, and I pass all the tests, and I will submit that, and I will call that a day. Oh, I ranked up. I'm now 7 in Rust. Yay! Okay, but with that, I will see you all later. Okay, again, we can take a look at other people's solutions. There's a lot of good ones here. Okay, so here it's just saying, hey, if dolphin, so if there's a dolphin, shark speed half equals. Okay, so you can reassign arguments, so like that's good to know. My ETA pontoon distance, and that's kind of like pretty much the same approach. It's a little bit more dry. Okay, not seeing anything super different. Okay, cool. I'll see y'all later.